Well, hello. This is a video that is really going to deep dive us into the power of purpose, the power of your purpose, actually. So, many of you follow this channel, right? And you've followed me for quite some time. And some of you are new to the channel. But either way, you get the gist that my work is all about ancient wisdom for modern day living. So let's go a little bit deeper to that. What is that all about? It's about finding your purpose. My deepest connection with the mother, Sekhmet, is all about finding purpose, the flames that burn away all of the shadow and illusion, thinking you're nothing less than spectacular, the flames that burn away the deep concrete layers of you accessing your blueprint, your tablet of light, which is your purpose. You know, all of this is like leads you out to other places, right? Your gifts, your superpowers, your skill sets. But first of all, one must have a deep understanding of purpose, right? Now, the Great Sphinx is all about purpose as well, because that's where all the records are held, you know, the Akashic records, you know, the places of learning, the halls of learning, which is the halls of Amenti. You know, it's like, you know, everything is about purpose. And when one is aligned with that, then the rest is it just unfolds. So a lot of us have felt lost for a very, very long time. Eons, in fact, not just this lifetime. That was the whole purpose of you coming back time and time and time again. Many of us had forgotten as to why we come back, and many of us haven't. So those that have forgotten will be reminded by us that have remembered. That's the gig, right? So now this video is all about accessing that part of yourself and understanding what your soul purpose is. Now, that will never, ever change. Missions do. This is where people get quite confused with this. Missions, they're like, oh, the mission stays the same. It actually doesn't. I do believe that there is one big umbrella. The mission is to live in love, right? That's unchangeable. But the actual missions is about expression of your purpose, right? And they can change a million times in a day. You know, for example, I started off expressing my creativity through being an aerial yoga teacher, for being an exercise specialist. And now I express my gifts and talents because I've kind of gone further up the spiral now, taking people to Egypt and Avalon and awakening the ancient wisdom within them, or rather the ancient one that holds all the wisdom on that purpose. So once you awaken to that, your power, kaboom. So the way that I work with that is with Ceridwen, is with Merlin, is with Sekhmet, is with Thoth, you know, or Thoth. If you've seen my video with Waleed, he'll tell me off for that. The Egyptian word for Thoth is Thoth. But anyway, in my world, Thoth. So you get the gist that basically everything is about purpose, right? So now I'm going to go through my power of 3 points, okay, as to how we understand this, unlock the magic, and move forward. So listen, I've got some stuff written on my phone. I don't usually read off my phone when I'm doing a video, but this is important because I've been kind of getting downloads and channel as I've kind of been moving around my life. So a lot of it is sitting on here. But the point number one, let's start there. Without purpose, you are lost. 100%. And it doesn't matter whether you're spiritual, whether you're in touch with yourself like that, whatever. The average human being, well, not actually, take average out because we're not average, we're extraordinary. You know what I mean? But the human, okay, everyone, whether you are spiritually awakened or not, has to have purpose. Even an animal has to have a purpose. Even a insect has to have purpose because it gives them a reason to get up every single day. And when an animal is depressed, because they do get depressed, when we get depressed, it's because we've lost our purpose. It's like, deep rest. That's what depressed is because we're so tired of just operating without that connection to our soul self, right? So purpose is absolutely the elixir, the energy, the kundalini of life, right? And that is why we're here, to understand what our soul purpose is. Now, if you do not have this knowledge and wisdom on board, you are forever lost. And that is where the tablets of light work comes through. For me, that's why I take y'all to Egypt. That's why I take you to Avalon. That's why I do these videos, to help you unlock and know your soul purpose. You have to know yourself energetically, because if you don't, then of course you're just going round and round and round in circles, right? So it is one thing to know what your personality is, meaning you're a good guy and you're like quite jovial and you like long walks on the beach. But then there's the energetic personality, which is essential for you to know to be able to move forward. And if you don't know it, you'll stay stagnant, right? So this is the first, I suppose, the first portal that you will tap into. You need to, like I always say to people, do you know straight off the bat what your 4 superpowers are? You have way more than 4, but let's just start with that. Do you know your first? I can list them off. I can list off millions. But I've spent my years and years and years and years seeking that and understanding that and knowing that, right? So it's taken me some time to get to know thyself, right? So for you, do you know 4 powers that you can list straight off the bat now? Do you know what your soul purpose is, right? So a soul purpose, right? If you are in the shadow and you're still in the dark and the sludge and you're like, oh my God, man, let me tell you, that's a big indicator. That's the biggest clue you'll ever have. Everyone starts off with their soul purpose in the shadow of it, meaning, for example, if you're living in absolute lack of abundance, right, and you've just lost and lost and lost, and it's an abundance thing, could be like literally gold coins. You've lost loads of businesses, you just don't have money, and every time you get money, you lose it. You've lost your house. If that's happening to you, that tells you you're the most powerful abundance master ever, because you have to know poverty to know wealth, right? For me, I will use myself as an example. I am absolutely, get this. I have been terrified of everything my whole life. I've never wanted to be here. 10 years of drug addiction, 3 nervous breakdowns, anxiety, writhing, you know what I mean? Like fearful of everything, right? And yet who you see on the screen is that chick that goes and climbs temples, goes into deep dark holes to discover, to be Dora the Explorer, to open up dark, clear the dark portals, make them light, bring others to them, blah, 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 blah. That's what I've done, right? But who would have thunk it that Marie was very, very scared, that her actual issue was fear. So to know fear is to know courage, right? To know doubt is to know clarity in its fullness. So that is my mission. I came here writhing in fear, and I had to unlock and tap into that. Hence why Sekhmet is my most powerful guide and my most present frequency within me. She's my most powerful aspect, right? So that gives you an indication of what Marie's life is all about, is helping others step into their own courage paths now to find their purpose. So for example, you could be really sick. Your energy, your ailments in your body are just like doctors can't help you. Perhaps that was the first half of your life, being sick, to be able to unlock it to know health. Do you see what I'm saying? So the power of purpose and understanding it in this way is essential, right? And it brings you great clarity to understand it in this way. So that's your bigger picture, the soul purpose, right? But on a more micro and macro level, I've just spoken about it. You know, one needs to get out of bed for a reason, even if it is to go and get a cup of coffee. That's your micro purpose, right? Even if it is to go to the gym, even if it is to get up and feed your child or your cat or whatever, there is a purpose there. But of course, it's not going to give you much depth. But that's an example of what gets you out of bed every day. Now we need to expand on that much bigger and bring the creativity, your Awen. Awen is kind of like the same as Heka in a kind of way. Heka is magic and medicine. It's all about the manifestation power, working with the magic and so on and so forth to bring thoughts into things. Awen is very similar. Awen is a beautiful, beautiful energy. It comes from Ceridwen, and it's all about, and it's Avalonian energy. And, you know, that is all about, inspiration and wisdom, turning knowledge into inspiration, creativity. Same thing. So unless we've got Awen and Heka going on, then we're going to be very unhappy bunnies, right? So this is our most natural state. Purpose and creativity is essential for our pathway forward, right? So that is the purpose part of things. So now just stay with me here, because I actually wrote this out. Okay, so point number 2. This is what takes me onto my phone now, okay? And I'm just going to read you out what I've written. So without purpose, you are lost. Who am I? Meaning that's the question. Who am I? That's the question that will lead you into all of this. So actually, let's start there. Who are you? Who are you? Who am I? Leads you to the I am, right? The I am then leads you to presence, because it is a presence, okay? And then the presence leads you to your power, because if you're in your stillness and your presence and you let go of all of that, you're in your power, right? And then that stillness, presence, I am, your power, then leads you full circle back to your purpose. You will gain crystal clear clarity of your purpose and where you came. And essentially, cut through all the layers, it's to be joy, it's to be love, and it's to live in a very abundant life and just play the game, capital GAME, know how to navigate the frequencies, don't let them be you, just play with them, just manipulate them to create alchemy, to be able to create something else and play the creation game in this life. That's essentially why we're here, right? Bigger picture. So then, knowing that now, sees how it goes full circle. So not knowing your purpose, going through those layers will bring you to your purpose, because it's just to know thyself is to know God, right? That's what the Egyptians say. So we have to have, and I suppose that's like presence connection. That's really connecting deeply with your faith, not belief. Belief is a kind of pre-step before faith, but faith, it's like, that's my presence. So in a way, it's such a gift not knowing your purpose, because that's the very portal that will lead you to it. And that's why we've come. So don't get stressed out if you think, shit, I don't know who I am, I don't know what my superpowers are, all the rest of it. That's why I'm here. That's why I was commissioned by Thoth and Spirit and Sekhmet to come at this time to figure this shit out myself, because I've been through all of this over a multitude of years. And this is where I've arrived at. This actual pathway, gateway I'm sharing with you right now, was the gateway to where I found my purpose. And now I know what I've come here to do. Now I know I'm a teacher of the Hermetic principles. Now I know my superpowers, my gifts and skill sets, and I've got a pretty good idea of that. Does it stop there? Absolutely not. Next year is going to completely change. So we completely express through the spiral, because it keeps changing and morphing, and the missions change and all that kind of thing. But that can only happen to Marie if she's got a good idea of what her blueprint and frequency is all about, which is her soul purpose. So I know that I've got a very, very scientific brain, and I know that I hold the ancient wisdoms of Thoth just through me just going to Egypt and doing the unpacking. I know a lot of you are the same. And I'm like, okay, I know that now. I know I'm a teacher. So I know kind of which area I work in. And that then can be expressed a million ways, which is basically just has to be fun for me and joyous, right? Hence me taking people to Egypt. Love it. Enjoy it. Love meeting my peeps. You see what I'm saying? So this is where the power of purpose is, in truth, exactly that, right? Power, right? So now my third point, accepting who you are. You're not small, okay? Now, let me refer to my phone again, because these are channeled things that came through. So let me just read this and then I'll jump off this third point, okay? Accepting who you really are. This came to me in the shower, actually. Accepting who you really are. Believing it helps you understand and accept that the way you feel presently is because you are really now acknowledging and allowing the power being that you are to come online. So let me go through that again. Accepting who you really are, meaning that you're big master creator, you have many superpowers. It's not just the people on YouTube and bloody Instagram and the world stage that have psychic powers. You have exactly what they've got, probably bigger. We're all the same. Accepting who you really are, believing it helps you understand and accept that the way you feel presently is because you are now really acknowledging that power. Meaning, if you're feeling shit or you're feeling unwell or you're going through like a dark night of the soul or it's really sludgy, it isn't just happening just cause, it's because you are a super being prepared for the new earth timeline. Or you can look at it the other way and go, well, I'm not really much going on. I'm just sick again. And this is just loads of shit. And it's just another day in paradise. Do you know what I mean? It's like whichever way you look at it brings you a completely different outcome. So you're going to come from a place of smallness going, well, I'm just somebody who's just energy sick again and my life shit. You know? Or are you going to look at it and go, oh, this has a purpose to it. This sickness has a purpose. I'm purging for a purpose because there's a deep meaning underneath this, because I got to get right with the new earth timeline, because that's 5D consciousness. I'm a 5D being and above, and I've got all these superpowers, and the seed is just bursting out of me now. No wonder I feel sick. No wonder I feel challenged. No wonder I feel under it. Just let it transform. You see what I'm saying, right? So now let me carry on with my channel. So we are all magical beyond belief. Like, let me say that again. We are all magical beyond belief, right? We all have powers. We are all psychic. We are all empaths. We are all channels. And knowing this explains why you're feeling this massive intensity and changing. So that list that I've just listed off there, like, yeah, you're a pretty big damn deal. So no wonder all of that energy is bursting out of you. Of course, it's going to make your human vessel feel sick. So this isn't just happening for nothing. Do you know what I mean? This is your purpose bursting out of you to be seen in the world. We are still transforming, even though we're really getting to the latter hours of 2024. We're still transforming, and it's still going to carry on in 2025. But we're doing the lion's share in 2024, right? The lion's share. Anyway, so now we are all being prepared to fully embody our immense power. I'm having to say this twice because I need to let it land with you and me, I suppose. We are all being prepared to fully embody our immense power, right? Coming from a place of smallness leaves you confused and not really knowing why you feel so awful. Okay, you're just thinking you're unwell and it's nothing going on. It's just another shitty energy day. When it's not, you're basically coming out of the chrysalis. Imagine being born. God, our bones cracked. We're squeezed through this like tiny hole. Flippin' sore being born for the mother and for you. Do you know what I mean? So like this is what's going on. So it really is about perspective. And it is really, really just knowing that the great reveal is about to happen. And I'm bringing this on your radar because purpose is so flippin' important. And I put this call out to action now. Call to action out now. I don't know. I'm calling you to Egypt, basically. Egypt, Avalon. This is the depth of my work. This is what it's here for. And I get excited about it now because I've been doing this for years. But I get excited because I now realize that my purpose is only popping off now because it's really Marie being in service now. I've been doing all this back work and just been taking to people Egypt and doing all my things. But it's really gathering speed now. And I really feel like the energy alignment with the purpose of the planet and the ascension process is now matching the work that I do to help others step into this. Because when you know, it's absolutely incredible. And, and that is why the tablets of light, Avalon and Egypt is there for you. Obviously, Avalon is very divine feminine. Do you know what I mean? But the tablets of light, Egypt is the first portal you should go through because that is an ignition of your fire, ignition of everything, you know what I mean? And that is really going to blow it up. And then of course you go to Avalon, that's the divine feminine, and that further amplifies Egypt and so on and so forth. We got many years to be able to do this, do you know what I mean? But 2025 is going to be exceptionally powerful. So if you're feeling the call and you're ready to fire that purpose up and you're just like, right, let's go. I'm here for you, man. I'm here for you. Reach out and let's have a Zoom call. But other than that, the power of purpose, game changer. Peace.